A special ceremony held to honor a man who died serving this country during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Today marks the 60th anniversary of his death. 7 News reporter Asia Wilson shows us how he's being remembered.
By the presence of these large, long-range, and clearly offensive weapons of sudden mass destruction constitutes an explicit threat to the peace and security of all the Americas.
This 1962 message from President John F. Kennedy came at a crucial time in U.S. history.
This was a confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War, and this was the closest it came to a nuclear conflict.
The tensions lasted more than a dozen days.
And one path we shall never choose, and that is the path of surrender.
And part of that history includes a man with roots in the upstate.
Major Rudolf Anderson was a cadet here at Clemson University at Detachment 770, and once he commissioned and went on to do active duty, he flew in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
On October 27, 1962,
U.S. Air Force Major Rudolf Anderson Jr. was flying a U-2 Dragon Lady spy plane over Cuba, taking images of Russian missiles on Cuban soil. While he was up there, 2 Russian surface-to-air missiles reached up to touch him.
During this specific day, he actually wasn't even supposed to fly. It was just a few hours into his flight when he was shot down by 2 Soviet-supplied air missiles.
Now, 60 years later, he's being honored by veterans and Clemson University ROTC cadets whose squadron is named after him.
Very inspiring, I would say, because we are literally in the same building. He walked in, they haven't changed buildings. It's just truly incredible to see the bravery and encouragement that people that walked in our shoes had to make that sacrifice.
A selfless act.
He really did make the ultimate sacrifice
that gives cadets like Cardis Cantel the courage to continue on her path to one day protect our country too.
It just gives me the ambition and tenacity to do my best, to have service before self.
Lest we never forget the ultimate sacrifice, those who gave their lives in defense of the freedoms we enjoy.
In Greenville, Asia Wilson, 7 News.
You can read more about the history of this event during the Cuban Missile Crisis at the F-86 Sabre that marks the Major Anderson Memorial in Cleveland Park in Greenville. It's right along the Swamp Rabbit Trail.